Hey creative crew, hey, welcome back to the channel. This your girl Didi here with Creative Couture. Y'all, this video is for my beginner basket making girlies. Yes, for those who need a step-by-step tutorial on building a basket, creating a sturdy foundation, and making a transformation between an old basket that didn't sell to a new basket that will sell. Guess what? I got you. Okay, so if this video does not apply to you because you have been in the game and you know what you're doing, feel free to hit the like button and skip on by. But for those who need it, those who would like to see it, make sure you watch, like, share, and subscribe. Take notes if you have to, but I want you to be all in because why? I want you to succeed in this basket making business. All right, y'all, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, crew, look. This was a Mother's Day gift that did not sell. I do believe it flipped off the table and became damaged because as you guys can see, it's a hole right here and I never repaired it. I just kind of put it to the side, but we're not going to let it sit no longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transform this into Father's Day. I took this can of spray paint because why? I wanted to like upgrade the look, you know, make it look a little more upscale, a little more elegant. And I think the gold paint did what it was supposed to do. Okay, so now we're working with this gold planner. This is really a flower pot, but we're using it as the base of our basket. And we are working with like several heavy weighted items, I should say. So we want to make sure we, step one, take the price tag off the bottom because we don't want to leave that on there. And then what we're going to do after that is we're going to begin to stuff this with any kind of paper you may have. I tend to go with newspaper because why, is free for me. So I packed it in really good. And here you guys can see I'm testing it to make sure that my heavy items will hold up. And it looks like they're, you know, passing the test. So what I'm going to do is next is I'm going to grab a piece of tissue paper and I'm going to go ahead and cover that newspaper. And I know some basket makers like to skip this step. However, I do not because I like my baskets to have a more polished and professional look. Even though the tissue paper is not going to show, I still want to go ahead and cover it because mainly, you know, it makes the basket look professional and not so much as a DIY project. And then also it protects your items from the ink from the newspaper because over time, sometimes the ink will sweat, the basket will sweat and it will cause ink to get on your items. So go ahead and put that gift tissue down just for GP, y'all, and keep it moving. So okay, we're working with this tumbler from Dollar Tree. It was actually $125, and again, you know, this is a Father's Day gift now, so we're going with the blue and the gold and the grays and the blacks, you know, all the masculine colors. Okay, so we're gonna put this body wash in, and what I was trying to show you real quick was that once I put the cup and the soap in, it was the same height. So what we would like to do when we make baskets, y'all, is we would like to have our objects, our items tiered. That makes the basket more three-dimensional and it gives it height when you need it to have the height. And then the other items are at a lower level. So it just makes it overall easier for your items to be seen once the basket is wrapped. So I took out some paper because I wanted to create a space for the soap to be a little lower than the cup. So as you guys can see here, that's good. That's where I want the soap to be. Next, I'm going to go ahead and secure it down with some tape. I can only use tape on the dowel container because it's smooth. That tumbler has like a spiky outer shell, so it will not hold the tape at all. So we're going to use something else for that. So anyway, as you see, I'm putting the tape down. I put two pieces on each side vertically, and I also connected it to the back of the planner for security. And then for a little extra stability, what I did was I did that kind of quick right there. I pushed that soap all the way to the back of the brim of the planner. And now I'm going to add a third piece of tape vertically to give it extra security. So that's what I'm doing here. And now it is very secure. I'm good with that. I feel confident. And as you guys can see, I'm testing it and it's not moving. See, I can turn it all the way upside down. So your girl is on the money with that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add the cup back to the planner and get that in position. But again, like I said, I can't use tape to hold it. So what I'm going to use to secure that down is going to be this fishing line right here. And go ahead and invest in a good, roll of fishing line. Matter of fact, maybe like 2 or 3. So if you misplace one, you can go just grab another one because you don't want to be held up looking for a fishing line. So, okay. So anyway, so I'm tying it down at the bottom with the fishing line to secure it to the soap. And then I'm going to get it in position the way I want it again. And I'm going to tie it at the top. And this time, when I tie it at the top, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and run that fishing line around the groove in the neck of the body wash. So that'll help give it extra security up there, because the fishing line will actually, like slide off that body wash bottle if you don't put it in the groove. So that's what I'm doing. You can't quite see that, but that is what I'm doing. And y'all excuse my ashy elbow right there, but we ain't here for that. But had I realized, your girl would have put on some lotion or something right there before I got on this video. But nevertheless, I'm here to teach y'all, so we're gonna just skip on past that part and we're gonna keep the lessons rolling. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I tied it down. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add this candle. And that candle is very heavy. And because I, secured the cup and the soap, so well, I was able to just push the candle down in there. And it's pretty secure, y'all. I mean, it's really like secure. And I'm going to show you right now that, your girl ain't BSing you. So before I even taped it, look, I flipped it. The candle's not going anywhere. You see that? You see how tight that is? Tell me your girl don't know what she doing. Yeah, you be telling a lie. Okay, y'all. So being that, it's sturdy as it is, I'm still going to go ahead and add the tape. Because why? Because I don't be playing. I don't be playing. And, when you in transit with these gifts, you want your stuff to look the same. You ain't trying to be having to repair nothing if you don't have to. So I added a piece of tape to the back of the candle just for extra security. There's a second piece. Even though y'all can see the candle ain't going nowhere, but still. And now that I got that in place and I'm happy with it, I'm going to go ahead and just add this loofah. Y'all make sure y'all take y'all price tags off. And with loofahs, I do like to leave the tag just because, you want people to, know that your items are new. So I just cut off the little $1 piece right there. And I could have just cut it straight, but I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, it really doesn't matter because I'm going to take that tag and I'm going to tuck it down in the basket, between the basket and like the paper. So it's not going to be seen until, they take it apart. And at that point, who cares? So I'm going to go ahead and stuff the loofah down in this free space right here. And I'm just taking my time with that because the space is kind of tight, but I want the loofah to stay in. I don't want it to be popping out. And just for, again, added security, I'm going to go ahead and add a piece of fishing line to the loofah and, to help hold that down. And I think I'm going to be good after that, because I do believe I only put one piece. Because everything was like as you can see, y'all, was so secure and tight already. So go ahead and add that one piece of loofah. I mean, not loofah, one piece of fishing line, excuse me, y'all. And I'm going to knot that and then cut off the excess strings. So that's what you see me doing here. And basically, y'all, this basket is done. Another one for the books. What I am going to do, of course, to complete the look is I'm going to go ahead and add my shred and do my bow. And I'm actually going to go ahead and bag it all in this video. So you guys are getting, the whole shebang from beginning to end, from creating, developing, manufacturing, and pricing all in one video. I had you. I got you. I'm going to make sure you make a gift and you're going to be able to sell the gift. So I cut out them extra tags, y'all. Okay, and now I'm going to get my shred. So let me show y'all how it's looking. Cute, right? I like it. I like it. Okay, so that's the shred I'm gonna use. That is the neutral brown with the gold leaf pieces in it. I got that from Target if anybody was interested. That was the after Easter sale. And I believe I paid like 30 cents for that bag. So that's another little nugget, don't be, if you don't have to, running out here, rushing to buy these Dollar Tree bags of shred. Try to catch all the shred after the holiday sales and just rack up, because the shred goes all the way down to 90% off. And that shred was $3 a bag, and I paid 30 cents for it. So, and it's bigger than the Dollar Tree bags. So yeah, that's what that was about. So just mark your calendar to watch out for the after holiday sales and catch the shred when it drops all the way down, because as you see, 30 cents is way cheaper than $1.25. Okay, so yeah, I got my hot glue gun out because what I like to do, and that's just my own personal thing, I like to drop like a little dab of glue in the spaces where I plug in and shred at, just because I like my shred to be more secure. I don't like it falling all down in the bag once the gift is wrapped. So I got my glue gun, and actually that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna put some glue down in there in the holes. But it doesn't matter if the glue, I mean, you don't want the glue to get on your items, but if it does, it's not gonna hurt anything, because that glue just literally will pop off once it cools down anyway. So it's really just there to help secure the shred. So that's what you see me doing, adding glue and adding shred. And as you guys can see, it don't take a whole lot to finish the gift off, because all we're doing is plugging in the holes. That shred will not hold anything as far as foundational wise. It is purely there for decoration and to give your basket a more complete look. So I'm just plugging in any little gaps I have, which wasn't many because I really packed these items in this planner, which was the goal. Okay, and then I'm gonna go around and I'm just gonna cut off the little wild straggly pieces, because that's just my own personal preference. If you like it, hey, I like it for you, and you can leave it. I like to cut it down just so it don't look so wild and stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing here. And again, it wasn't even that much because I didn't even use that much shred. All right, so this is how we looking. And just like that, we went from Mother's Day to Father's Day. Easy peasy. And I think this basket took me it took me a little longer because I was recording, but it really didn't take long to put this together. And as you guys can see, the basket is totally secure. I just flipped it upside down. Nothing moved, nothing shifted. Everything is still in place. That's a good basket. So now what I'm going to do, y'all, I'm going to put that to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and make the bow, because like I said, I wanted y'all to have everything as a first-time basket maker, new to the game. So what I did was, this is a repurposed piece of ribbon. So it's already been cut. I took it off another gift. But the items I like to use would be a zip tie and a pipe cleaner or a Chanel stem, whatever you want to call it. And I just took a piece of ribbon from, like I said, a previous gift. And we don't throw ribbon away. We don't throw that away, y'all. If you don't sell a gift, you change your mind, whatever, you keep your ribbon, because you can always repurpose it. And that's what I'm doing here. So I moved the gift out the way so you guys can see me make this bow. And it's really, not a whole lot to it. I think the biggest thing, the biggest obstacle when it comes to making bows is that people just need to practice. Like, really, you just need to practice. If you just can practice it, you will get better and better and better, because the concept is the same. And once you get it, you got it. So what I did was I tried to straighten the ribbon out some with my hand. Okay, and then I'm making my first loop. So as you see, it's just a loop. My hand is through the circle. It's just a loop. One end is going to be the tail, which is the short end. And the other end is what's the rest of the ribbon. So right here, once you make your loop, you pinch it. You have to pinch. See how I brought it together? Okay, then the second piece, which is the rest of the ribbon, all you do is you twist it at the neck, right there where it's pinched at, and then you just make another loop. That's it. Straighten it out. Make sure you got it pinched. That's where you twist at. And then you just flip it down to make your loop. And when you flip it down and bring that ribbon back up, you bring it right back to where the pinch is. So make sure you holding it with one hand, and the other hand is, basically doing all the work. So make sure your ribbon is, straight, because you don't want your loops to be, all misshapen, and you try to want to make your loops be the same size. And I'm actually using two-sided ribbon, which means the print is on both sides of the ribbon. So because of that, honestly, it's no real need to flip the ribbon, but I flip it anyway because that twist and flip motion makes the ribbon more secure. But if you was using a ribbon that was only printed on one side and it was plain on the back end, you would definitely have to twist and flip, because the flip is what's going to put your pattern on the same side every time you make a loop. So I hope you guys caught that. If you didn't, pause and go back and listen to that again, because that's really like the nuts and bolts of making a bow, really. And you just keep doing the same motion over and over again. You twist, you flip, you make the loop, and you bring it back to the center where the pinch is. And you just keep doing that until you got the size bow that you desire, or until your ribbon runs out, or whichever. And here my ribbon has basically run out, because I end up with 3 loops on one side and 2 loops on the other side. And then I have a longer piece on the end, which is going to be my second tail. But I'm fine with that. I'm just go ahead and secure it with a zip tie. So where I have it all gathered at and pinched at, that's where I'm going to add the zip tie. So I just run it through my hand and bring it around, and then fasten it and pull it tight. And once you do that, that will secure your ribbon. It will hold it together, and then you're free to let it go. And there's your bow. So after that, guys, I just cut off that extra piece. And then I like to, I fiddle with it a little bit and fluff it out. But, really, I like to do that once it's on the gift, because then I can really see how it's sitting in the placement. And as you guys can see, look, I got one short tail and one long tail, right? That's fine. That is A-okay. I could choose to leave it like that. I could choose to cut it down. But I'm not going to do anything at the moment, because I want to get it on the gift before I judge how much I'm going to leave on there. Because I'm a person that I don't like my tails to be the same length. So I'm going to cut it down once it's on the gift. But right there, y'all, I'm showing you that the ends was raggedy, because like I said, it's a repurposed bow. So I'm just going to re-ducktail it. So to do that, you just fold the ribbon in half, and then you just cut it at an angle. And once you cut it at an angle, it will give you that V shape again, and then your cut is clean. See? Clean cut. And then, like I said, I'm gonna do something with that once I get it on the gift. So I'm just showing you guys, what it's looking like, what I'm working with. We're going to put that to the side, and now we're going to wrap the gift. Oh, I did go back and add my Chanel stem, because actually the Chanel stem is what's going to actually secure it fasten it to the basket. And I like to use even though I did do the zip tie, I'm going to use the zip tie to hold the bow together. But I use the chenille stem to hold the bow to the basket because I know that some people like to save their bows and repurpose them. So if you make your bow like that, once they unravel the chenille stem, the bow will still be intact and they can reuse it. But if you just use one chenille stem to fasten your bow and connect it to your basket, once they take it off the basket, the bow is going to unravel. So I like people to have the option to be able to keep their bows and reuse them. Okay, so anyway, I got the wrap. I'm going to go ahead and use cello for this gift. And it comes on a roll. That's how, I buy it. And it's actually folded in half. So once you cut your piece off, you will have to open it up to get the full size of the use of the wrap. So I'm just measuring it out. I know y'all can't see. I didn't realize my arm was in the camera, y'all. The back of my arm. Okay. Okay, so we got the wrap measured out. There's the gift. And what I like to do is go ahead and pull it up in the front and in the back to see, how much I have to work with. And then once I measure it out and pull it down, I know where to cut. And that's what I'm doing here, just cutting it off. And then you have to, move the gift again. You have to open it up because that's what I was saying. When the cello is on a roll, it comes folded over, so it looks small until cut your piece off and then have to actually split it open. So that's what I'm doing here. I just opened it up, and then I'm gonna go back and put the gift on the wrap, and I want to just put it as even as possible. So you want it to be even from front to back as far as the height of the wrap, and you also want it to be even on the left side and on the right side. So you're trying to get your gift in the middle. And once you're happy with that, you can begin to close it up. So I'm just kind of making some adjustments here. And what I like to do is I like to once I get it measured, top to bottom and stuff, the way I like it, I just like to start from the top and I just come all the way down to my highest point, which in this basket is going to be the straw, the tip of the straw. So I just gather it up and I bring it all the way down to the highest point of the items in the basket. Okay, y'all. So now I got my zip tie ready. Because once you gather it, you want to go ahead and close it up. You want your zip tie handy so you can go ahead and close it up. And I'm right-handed, so I generally do my right side of my wrapping first, and then I come around with my left side. But you do it however suits you. But that's just how I do it. It's easier for me. And here I'm actually gathering it on the right side. I didn't quite realize I was out of the camera shot right here, but I'm just pulling it, gathering it on the right side, and then I'm going to smooth out the wrap, and I'm going to gather it on the left side, and just take your time with it. Cello is a little tricky. A lot of people don't like it because they feel like they can't get it tight enough. But if you, again, practice using cello, you will get good at it. You will. And it's a skill that, as a basket maker, you need to have, because you cannot always solely rely on shrink wrap. Shrink wrap is great. However, shrink wrap is not the best for all baskets. And you need to have some versatility when you're making your baskets. So, again, practice, practice, practice is the key to wrapping a good gift with cello. So I still have this piece back here in the back that's open. I haven't put my zip tie on yet, but I'm just smoothing it out, because at the end of the day, you want to pull the wrap to the back to get out the crinkles and bumps in the front. Because why? The front is your presentation side. So you want the front to be as smooth and clear as possible. So I have the zip tie on, and what I'm going to do now is start to tape down my sides. And again, I said I'm right-handed, so I generally start from the right, pull the plastic and tape it down, and then I go to the left and do the same, pull the plastic and take it down. And at this point, the items are so secure, y'all. You can lay your basket down, you can turn it around, you can do what you need to do. Any extra play in the front of the basket, you just put tape on it and pull it down and tape it underneath. Okay, so I laid my basket down here, and I am taping it down from the right side. If I can get that tape off my finger. And then once I get it secured down, I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to tape it down from the left side. And honestly, you can choose to cut off some of that if you like. I generally don't, because I like to make sure I have enough to give my basket, the final look that I like it to have. I don't like my wrap looking skimpy. I like it to be nice and full at the top, as well as, my bow, my presentation for my bow. So I'll just as soon as I'll just rather tape it down. So here is me doing the left side. And I'm just pulling it tight, and I'm going to fold it over. Tuck in that end piece, because we don't want our ends sticking out. We're trying to get as smooth as a finish as possible. So I'm just like rolling it and tucking it, and then I'm going to tape it down. All right, and that's the bottom. I seen it with some play in the cello at the bottom. So again, you just put the tape on it, pull, and then tape it under. When you pull, that pulls them wrinkles out and it makes it smooth. Right there, no wrinkles. Again, giving your basket a more clean and polished look. All right, y'all. So we got it wrapped, and I'm just doing any little finishing pulls and nips and tucks that it may need. Using the tape. And then after I finish with that, I'm going to go ahead and add my bow. And then you guys can see the finished product. And this gift did not cost much. Let me run down the prices. Original price, the planner was $3. The loofah was $1. The tumbler was $1.25. The candle was $3. And the Dow men's wash was I think it was two something. So I paid 30 cents for the planner because it was at 90% off. I paid 30 cents for the candle, also at 90% off. I did pay $1 for that loofah, so we're at 160. I paid $1.25 for the tumbler, so we're at 260, 275. And then the dial, I want to say I spent $2, so we'll say 475. And then you can add $1 for the bag and the bow, which will put us at what, 575. So just round up to 6. So we can say roughly a $6 investment on revamping this basket from Mother's Day to Father's Day. And I'm actually gonna put this on the table for $40. So with a $6 investment, I'm gonna sell for $40. That'll give me a $34 profit. Here's my bow. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. And you can add your bow any kind of way you want your bow. If you want your tail sticking up in the air, that's fine. If you want them nice and neat in the front, hanging down, that's fine. It is whatever your eye likes. Because that is one thing that is unique to you and your style of gifts. So once you put that on, go back and cut off the ends of that zip tie and that pipe cleaner. Tuck that in under because that will stick somebody's finger. And then this piece of tail, I'm going to go ahead and cut it down some because, you know, I do like it a little long, but that's kind of obnoxiously long for me. So I'm just going to cut it about here, and then I'm going to ducktail it. And again, you see my tails, one is sticking up and one is sticking down. And I like it like that. I mean, you know, it doesn't bother me. So I ducktail that. As you guys can see, it has the V-shaped at the end. And voila, I'm going to go ahead and like fluff my bow. And I'm going to cut this ponytail down a little bit because it's a bit much. I do like a lot of ponytail, but not too much. So I just cut off some because I like my ponytail to kind of like, you know, fit with the size of my bow. That's how I judge it. But all right, y'all, so that's it. That is the final look. I know this was a little lengthy, but like I said, for the beginning basket girlies, I hope you were able to grasp the concepts in here. I hope you do use this video as a guide when you sit down to build your first basket. And I hope you enjoyed the video. So only thing left now is to price it and put it on the table and what? Get it sold so we can do what? Collect our coins. All right, y'all. Until the next video, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you enjoy watching this video. Let me know if it helped you. And let me know if you want to see me do any more quick and easy transformation videos. It was only long because I talked all the way through it step by step, but generally transformation revamping baskets is kind of quick because you really just reusing stuff that you still already had anyway. You're just playing on the color palette. But anyway, y'all, that's another topic for another video. All right, y'all, later.